Hi, my name is Ainsley, and today I am going to talk about copyright laws and why they are important. Copyright laws protect the work that people create, such as music, videos, books, magazines, journals, and online content. Understanding these laws helps us use information the right way and avoid getting into trouble. What is copyright? Copyright is a law that gives creators the ownership over their original work. So if someone creates a song, writes a book, or makes a video, they have the right to control how it is used. Other people can't copy, share, or use that work without permission of the original creator. Copyright applies to music, videos, images, and written materials. You can think of it sort of like a no trespassing sign for your imagination. When you write a poem in your notebook or hit record on a video, that work is protected. This protection exists so that creators can make a living from their work. Without copyright, someone could take a movie you worked hard on making, sell it as their own, and keep all the money. Fair use. Fair use is a part of copyright law that allows some use of copyrighted material without permission. For example, teachers and students can use small portions of a video, book, or song for learning, research, or commentary. However, the use must be reasonable and not completely replace the original work. One of the factors to know if your use is reasonable is called transformation. If you take a 10-second clip of a movie to critique the acting or explain a historical point in a school presentation, you are transforming the work into an educational tool. Copyright in music. For music, most songs are protected by copyright. This means you cannot use full songs in your projects, videos, or presentations without permission. Even if you give credit, that does not mean it's allowed. Instead, you should use royalty-free music or music that is labeled for reuse. For example, music found in the YouTube audio library is safe to use. Royalty-free doesn't always mean free cost, but it does mean once you have the right to use it, you don't have to pay the creator every time someone clicks play. Copyright in video. Videos, movies, TV shows, and online clips are also protected by copyright. You can't upload or use full videos that you don't own. However, short clips can sometimes be used under fair use. It is important to only use what is necessary and always give credit to the original creator. When using video clips, you should follow the minimalist rule, which is using the smallest amount possible to get your point across. You should use as little of a clip as needed. Also, remember that giving credit is a sign of respect, but it doesn't just make copyright disappear. You still need to ensure that your use is under the educational fair use area. Printed materials. Printed materials such as books, worksheets, and articles are protected too. You can't copy entire books or large sections without permission. In a classroom, it is usually okay to use small portions like a paragraph or short excerpt for learning purposes. The main idea is not to copy too much and to not replace the original work. Imagine if a teacher photocopied an entire textbook and handed it out for free. The author of that book wouldn't sell any copies. That's why it is important to focus on excerpts only. Internet resources. Many people think that anything on the internet is free to use, but that is not true. Most online content is protected by copyright. When using internet resources, you should check for licenses like Creative Commons, which tell you how the content can be used. It is also very important to always cite your sources. Just because an image shows up in a Google image search doesn't mean it's free to use. To find safe images, you can use the Tools setting on Google to filter by Creative Commons licenses. These are special permissions given by creators who want you to share their work as long as you follow their rules. Consequences of copyright violation. If you break copyright laws, there can be serious consequences. These can include having your content removed, getting in trouble at school, or even legal fines. For students, it could mean losing points or even failing assignments. That's why it is important to understand and follow copyright rules. In the professional world, companies spend millions of dollars on legal fees over copyright. In school, using someone else's work without permission is often treated as plagiarism, which can stay on your academic record. It's much easier to do the right thing from the start than to deal with the consequences later. How to avoid copyright. To avoid the consequences, you should always use content that is free to use or properly licensed. Make sure to give credit to the original creator and only use small portions when applying fair use. There are many websites that offer free images, music, and videos that are safe to use in projects. All in all, copyright laws are important because they protect the work of the original creators. As students, we need to be responsible when using music, videos, printed materials, and internet resources. By following copyright rules, we can avoid problems and respect the work of others. You aren't just following a law, you are participating in a worldwide community of creators. Thank you.